Yo, it's Big Ant the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as 50 Cent has decided to jump out there and use his number one tactic as beef to promote his latest product that he executive produced. Once again, as this time around, it's BMF, as it's going to be a part 2 to the documentary side of the collective that they had going on Stars, as they had the TV show that got canceled this last season, but they also had a whole deal as a whole where they were doing the documentary part to kind of like tell the storyline of the TV series and everything that went on with BMF. And he put this up on the gram today with the trailer. And I can't post that trailer right here because it's copyrighted through Stars, so I can't let y'all hear it.
The moment the trailer clip hit social media, everything shifted. Fans didn't just scroll past it, they stopped, replayed it, and started asking questions. Because according to new reports circulating online, 50 Cent may have just reignited one of the most sensitive storylines connected to the BMF legacy. And people are saying he did it in the most calculated way possible. The caption alone sent shockwaves to like my name still good. No names mentioned. No accusations confirmed. But the internet instantly knew the message appeared to be aimed at Dow. Before anything gets twisted, let's be clear. This is commentary on what's being reported and discussed, not a declaration of what actually happened. Still, fans are shocked by how quickly speculation exploded. Some say it was just promotion. Others believe it felt personal. And that's where the drama begins. As news spreads about the upcoming BMF documentary's new chapter, viewers are noticing what's being emphasized and what's being left unsaid. According to online chatter, the timing alone raised eyebrows. Why now? Why that wording? And why does it feel like old wounds are being quietly reopened? Emotions ran high across social platforms as fans, critics, and insiders began dissecting every frame. Every pause, every quote that made it into the teaser. Sources close to the conversation say this isn't about a single post, it's about history, loyalty, and unresolved tension that's been simmering beneath the surface for years. Some reports suggest family dynamics are once again under a microscope. Others claim longtime alliances may not be as solid as they once appeared. And while no one is outright accusing anyone of anything, the implications alone were enough to divide audiences overnight. What makes this situation even more intense is the silence from the other side. No direct response. No clarification. Just reactions from fans, from commentators, and from people claiming insider knowledge. The streets are talking, the blogs are buzzing, and everyone seems to have a theory. So the question now is simple, but heavy. Was this just entertainment marketing or something?
Because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me.
Thing much deeper playing out in real time. Because if the reports are even close to accurate, this story is only getting started. As the conversation around the new documentary continued to spread, reports began framing the situation as more than just another release cycle. According to online chatter, what people thought would be a routine announcement slowly turned into something heavier. Fans watching closely noticed how certain phrases were being repeated across blogs and reaction channels, almost as if everyone was circling the same unspoken idea. Emotions ran high not because anything was officially confirmed, but because the tone felt different this time. It felt layered, intentional, and sharp in a way that made people uncomfortable. Commentators started pointing out that whenever 50 Cent is attached to a project, there is almost always a secondary storyline forming alongside it. People familiar with his past moves say this pattern has been seen before, where silence says as much as the words that are spoken. In this case, the reports suggest the documentary is being framed as a deeper look into history. But fans are questioning whose version of that history will be emphasized. The internet began asking whether this was about telling a story or reshaping. 1. Some reactions claim that the wording being discussed online feels like a response without directly being one.
in 2021 as a companion project to complement the star-scripted crime drama BMF, which recently concluded its 4-season run on Starz. The show was canceled in October, leaving fans with a cliffhanger when Big Meech, Demetrius Flannery Jr., was arrested by Detective Von Bryant Steve Harris. There has been plenty of speculation regarding why BMF was canceled, with the spotlight on franchise executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson's beef with Big Meech. Sources at the time of the cancellation told Deadline that Jackson and Big Meech's frayed relationship was not the reason BMF ended. Jackson addressed the rumors during the recent chat with Deadline while promoting his ratings juggernaut Netflix docuseries Sean Combs' The Reckoning. BMF was already slightly declining in ratings before the last season started, and they made some creative choices that were, from my perspective, not good choices. Jackson told me in late November, "I know people feel like I turned it off, but the networks would have continued to move forward with the show if it was doing the numbers it had been doing." So it's one thing me saying that the show...
There is no clear accusation being made, yet the energy behind it has sparked debate. Fans are shocked by how quickly sides formed. Some believe it is all part of promotion, a familiar playbook used to draw attention. Others feel the undertones are too personal to ignore. One popular reaction channel said it feels like watching two timelines collide, where old loyalty meets new narratives and neither wants to blink first. According to reports circulating on social media, people close to the situation say this has reopened conversations that were never fully settled. Family dynamics are once again being dragged into public discussion, even though no one from the family has officially spoken. This silence has only intensified speculation. Fans are reading into every pause, every non-response, and every repost. Emotions ran high as viewers debated whether staying quiet is a strategic move or a sign of frustration. Some commentators suggest that the documentary angle itself is what makes this moment feel heavier. Documentaries are often viewed as truth-telling spaces, even when they are curated. Fans are asking what happens when entertainment, personal history, and public perception collide. One reaction video captured the mood perfectly when the host said, "People trust documentaries more than interviews, so whatever gets said there feels permanent." That idea alone has fueled countless discussions across platforms. Reports also note that reactions from extended circle.
Mano, you got to add Dave East. Then like this week, he's been going at Clarissa Shields and Papoose. Who knows who next? He going back at Big Meech and Lil Meech. This is what 50 Cent is on. Expect more from this because he's going to use this dissing to promote it again.
Circles have added fuel to the fire. Old associates, distant friends, and industry voices have all been chiming in with vague comments that hint at deeper stories without saying much. Fans are shocked by how many people suddenly have something to say now that attention is back on the BMF name. Emotions ran high when a former insider posted that history has many layers and not all of them are comfortable. That single line was shared thousands of times within hours, according to trending discussions. Many viewers are less focused on what is being shown and more focused on what might be left out. The idea that omission can be just as powerful as inclusion has become a central talking point. People are asking whether certain perspectives will be softened or sharpened, depending on who controls the narrative. The family was left divided in the eyes of the audience, even if that division is only perceived rather than proven. Some fans argue that this situation highlights a bigger issue in entertainment storytelling. When real lives are turned into content, the line between reality and performance blurs. Commentators are reminding viewers that what they are reacting to are reports, reactions, and interpretations, not verified facts. Still, the emotional impact remains strong. One fan wrote that even rumors can hurt when they touch legacy and respect. The online reaction has also revealed how invested audiences remain in this story years later. Despite changes in the industry and shifting trends, the BMF narrative still carries weight. Fans remember how it was once discussed in whispers, then dramatized on screen, and now revisited through documentaries. Each phase adds another layer, and according to reports, this new chapter feels like it could redefine how people remember the past. Some voices have pointed out that 50 Cent has always leaned into confrontation as a way to stay visible. They argue that controversy is not a side effect but part of the strategy. Others push back, saying that this interpretation oversimplifies a complex situation involving real people and real relationships. Emotions ran high as debates broke out over whether this is smart marketing or unnecessary provocation. As reactions continued to roll in, fans began speculating about how those closest to the story might be feeling. Family members, friends, and longtime supporters are being pulled into conversations they never asked to join. According to comments circulating online, some feel protective, others feel tired, and many feel conflicted. The family was left divided in public opinion. Even if privately they may be united. What stands out most in these reports is the sense that nothing here is accidental. Timing, wording, and silence are all being analyzed as deliberate choices. Fans are shocked by how something so subtle could spark such loud reactions. Emotions ran high as people questioned whether this moment would pass quietly or build into something larger. The story, as it is being discussed, feels unfinished yet complete in its impact, leaving audiences watching closely, waiting for the next shift in tone or direction without realizing how deeply they are already invested. The discussion did not slow down after that initial wave of reactions. Instead, reports suggest it evolved into something more intense as people began revisiting old moments, old interviews and forgotten clips, trying to connect dots that may or may not belong together. Fans are shocked by how quickly timelines were reconstructed online, with users pulling up years-old footage and framing it as context for what is happening now. Emotions ran high as people debated whether this was fair analysis or selective memory, designed to push a narrative. According to circulating commentary, one of the most talked about angles is how power dynamics shift when one person controls the platform and the production. Documentaries, unlike interviews, allow stories to be shaped quietly. Viewers have been questioning whether this creates an imbalance, especially when the other side is not actively participating in the conversation. Some reactions claim that silence can look like guilt, while others argue it can also be dignity. This split in interpretation has left fans deeply divided. Reports also highlight that industry insiders are treating this moment as a case study in modern media influence. A single caption, paired with a trailer, managed to dominate conversation cycles for days. Commentators say this shows how easily perception can be nudged without making direct statements. Fans are shocked by how powerful suggestion alone can be. One viral post read, "Nobody said anything out loud, but everybody heard it anyway." That line captured the mood perfectly. The emotional stakes appear to go beyond business. Reactions suggest that people are reading this as a story about respect and legacy. For some fans, BMF represents survival, brotherhood, and ambition. Seeing that image questioned even indirectly feels personal. Emotions ran high when supporters began defending the legacy as if it were their own. Others, however, argue that no story should be protected from scrutiny, especially when it is being monetized again. According to online discussions, family connections make this even more sensitive. Whenever relatives are involved, the narrative shifts from entertainment to something more intimate. Fans are shocked by how quickly family names become headlines when documentaries drop. Some commentators suggest that this is the hidden cost of turning real lives into serialized content. The family was left divided in public opinion, with viewers choosing sides based on fragments of information. Another layer being discussed is timing. Reports point out that this moment comes after a period of relative quiet. The sudden reemergence of tension feels deliberate to some observers. Others say it is simply the natural cycle of promotion. Emotions ran high as fans argued over whether intent even matters if the outcome is the same. Attention has been captured, debates have been sparked, and lines have been drawn. Social media reactions show a mix of exhaustion and fascination. Some users say they are tired of recycled drama, while others admit they cannot look away. This push and pull keeps the conversation alive. Fans are shocked by how drama fatigue and curiosity can exist at the same time. One commenter wrote that they know it might be exaggerated, but it still feels real enough to react to. Reports also mentioned that reaction channels and blogs play a huge role in amplifying tension. Every opinion becomes a headline, and every headline feeds the next reaction. This loop creates the feeling that something major is unfolding, even when facts remain unchanged. Emotions ran high as creators competed to offer the hottest take, sometimes blurring the line between commentary and assumption. As the conversation continues, some voices are calling for patience. They remind audiences that reports are not confirmations and speculation is not truth. Still, the emotional weight lingers. Fans are shocked by how quickly perception hardens once an idea takes hold. Whether this moment fades or escalates further, it has already reshaped how many people view the story, leaving the audience suspended between curiosity and caution, watching closely as interpretations continue to pile up. As days passed, the narrative being discussed online started to feel heavier, almost layered with emotion that went beyond headlines. Reports describe how fans began projecting their own experiences onto the situation, turning commentary into something deeply personal. For many, this was no longer about entertainment news but about trust, respect, and how stories are remembered once they are retold through powerful platforms. Emotions ran high as viewers questioned who truly benefits when old histories are reopened. Under bright lights, some commentators suggested that this moment exposed an unspoken tension between control and vulnerability. When one side holds the microphone and the camera, the other side is left reacting to echoes. Fans are shocked by how often perception is shaped, not by what is said, but by who gets to say it first. In reaction videos, creators paused mid-sentence, choosing words carefully, aware that even commentary could be mistaken for confirmation. This hesitation itself became part of the drama. According to social chatter, longtime supporters of the BMF story feel conflicted. They want transparency, but they also want protection for the legacy they admired. Emotions ran high when fans debated whether loyalty means defending the past at all costs or allowing space for uncomfortable conversations. One widely shared comment said that legends do not disappear when questioned, but they can be damaged when questioned unfairly. That sentiment resonated strongly across platforms. Reports also note that younger viewers are engaging with the story differently. Without lived memories of the earlier era, they rely heavily on documentaries and online narratives to form opinions. Fans are shocked by how quickly first impressions solidify for audiences who only know the story through screens. This has raised concerns among older supporters who fear that simplified versions of complex histories may become the dominant memory. The reactions from people claiming insider proximity added another layer of uncertainty. Vague statements, cryptic emojis, and half-explained posts created an atmosphere of suspense. Emotions ran high as viewers tried to interpret meaning from minimal clues. Some argued that these hints were irresponsible, while others saw them as proof that deeper truths exist. The family was left divided in the court of public opinion, not because of verified facts, but because of how speculation was framed. Commentators also discussed how silence functions differently depending on perspective. For some, staying quiet is seen as strength and restraint. For others, it appears as avoidance. Fans are shocked by how quickly silence can be turned into a storyline of its own. Every day without a response fueled new theories, each more dramatic than the last. This cycle made it nearly impossible for the conversation to cool down. Another theme emerging from reports is the idea of repetition. Many viewers noticed how similar situations have played out before in entertainment culture. Drama surfaces, speculation grows, reactions multiply, and eventually a new narrative replaces the old one. Emotions ran high as people questioned whether this was just another chapter in a familiar cycle or a turning point with lasting consequences. Some believe this moment will fade once the next headline arrives. Others feel it has already altered how the story will be told in the future. Fans also began discussing accountability. Who is responsible when rumors spread faster than facts? Some place blame on creators who prioritize engagement over caution. Others argue that audiences themselves fuel the fire by sharing unverified claims. Fans are shocked by how collective behavior can amplify drama without anyone intending harm. This realization added a reflective tone to some discussions. Even as the noise continued. As the conversation deepened, a few voices tried to reframe the situation. They urged viewers to separate reports from reality and remember that commentary thrives on tension. Emotions ran high as people pushed back, insisting that even reported narratives carry weight and consequences. The family was left divided not only within the story, but among those watching it unfold. What remains clear from these reports is that the story has taken on a life of its own. It exists in reactions, interpretations, and emotional responses rather than confirmed events. Fans are shocked by how powerful that collective storytelling can be. Whether intended or not, the moment has already reshaped perceptions, leaving audiences grappling with questions about truth, narrative control, and the cost of turning history into ongoing spectacle. As the conversation reached this stage, reports suggest the tone began to subtly shift. While the noise remained loud, there was a noticeable change in how people were talking about it. Instead of only reacting, fans started reflecting. Emotions ran high, but now they were mixed with caution. Some viewers admitted that the more they followed the story, the more they realized how much of it was built on interpretation rather than confirmation. Still, that awareness did little to slow the momentum. According to online commentary, one of the strongest reactions came from fans who felt emotionally invested in both sides. They did not want to choose winners or villains. Instead, they expressed frustration at being pulled into a conflict that felt unresolved by design. Fans are shocked by how easily they were drawn into debates they never planned to join. One comment that gained traction said, "It feels like watching a family argument through a window, knowing you do not belong there." But being unable to look away. Reports also mentioned that conversations began shifting toward long-term consequences. Viewers started asking what this moment might mean years from now, when new audiences discover the story without context. Emotions ran high as people worried that speculation today could become accepted narrative tomorrow. This fear was especially strong among those who value legacy and nuance. The family was left divided in perception, not because of new facts, but because of how memory is shaped through repetition. Another angle gaining attention is how entertainment culture rewards tension. Commentators pointed out that the more dramatic the discussion becomes, the more visibility it receives. Fans are shocked by how incentives are structured to favor conflict over clarity. This realization led some viewers to step back, questioning their own role in amplifying drama. Others leaned in even harder, believing that engagement is simply part of being a fan in the digital age. According to reports, reactions from neutral observers added an unexpected layer. People with no deep attachment to the story weighed in, treating it as an example of how narratives are manufactured. Emotions ran high when these voices challenged both sides, suggesting that the real issue is not who is right, but how stories are packaged and sold. This perspective unsettled many fans who were emotionally invested, forcing them to confront uncomfortable questions about consumption and responsibility. The idea of resolution also became a talking point. Some viewers hoped for a clear statement that would end speculation. Others believed that ambiguity benefits everyone involved. Fans are shocked by how rarely clarity arrives in moments like this. Instead, stories tend to dissolve slowly, replaced by the next controversy. This understanding created a sense of fatigue mixed with anticipation, as if viewers were bracing themselves for an outcome that might never fully arrive. Reports further highlight that younger creators are learning from this moment. They are watching how controversy is framed, how silence is used, and how audiences respond. Emotions ran high as some praised the strategic brilliance behind the rollout, while others criticized it as manipulative. This divide reflects a broader tension in entertainment culture, between admiration for savvy moves and concern for ethical boundaries. As discussions continued, a recurring sentiment emerged. Many fans acknowledge that even if nothing new is revealed, the emotional impact has already been felt. Perceptions have shifted, Trust has been tested, and lines have been drawn in subtle ways. The family was left divided in the eyes of the public, not by actions, but by narratives layered on top of one another. What stands out in these reports is the sense that this moment will be remembered less for what was said and more for how it made people feel. Fans are shocked by how powerful suggestion and timing can be. Emotions ran high not because of definitive answers, but because of unresolved tension that lingers. As the conversation continues to echo across platforms, viewers are left with questions rather than conclusions, aware that in the world of entertainment commentary, uncertainty often becomes the loudest part of the story. Now it is your turn to speak. After everything being reported and discussed, what do you think this really is? Smart promotion or something deeper that people are picking up on? Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided in public opinion, but your view matters. Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us how you see this story. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss what comes next. Stay locked in because this conversation is far from over.